Hey everyone, it's the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership, and we're here to help you learn how to create a purchase request on Zagtivities. A purchase request is the beginning of a very lengthy process here at Gonzaga University on how you obtain the item you want in your hands for your club or organization. To do so, you're going to go ahead and go to your shortcuts, which you're familiar with, and look for the organization to which you want to create the purchase request for. In this case, it's Graduate Student Council. Now that will take you to your home page. To your left, you will see a table. And if you scroll down, you will look for the word called finance. Go ahead and click on that. Now, some of you are like, wait a minute, I have no finance. And that's because you are not a club leader. So you're not a club leader, you're not a club administrator, you are not the faculty advisor, you are not the treasurer, the president, or the vice president. So you have to have one of those titles in order to create a purchase request. If you're just one of the members that comes to all the fun stuff, this is not the tutorial for you. Feel free to exit out. So from this page, you can go ahead and see every single purchase request you have made for the academic year. So in this case, we are able to see everything for 2014-2015 for Graduate Student Council. Now, that's great, but we want to go ahead and create a new purchase request. So to your top to the right, you'll see something that says Create Purchase Request. Go ahead and click on that. All right, so here's the form, and you want to go ahead and name the purchase request with the same name as your event. So if you have an upcoming event in which you need supplies for, then most likely you want to create a purchase request that matches the name of your event. So earlier I created an event called Party 2015. I'm going to create this purchase request and call it Party 2015. And just type it in the field. All right, request amount, $1. That's right, $1. And give them a description of why you need to purchase this item. So this is for the Party 2015 bash on June 11th. All right, so now they know. Now it's going to ask you to select an account. You have to do this. It's automatically populated with your account. Now when you go ahead and select an account, don't be afraid when you see a zero balance. It's not telling you don't have any money. This is an area that you self-populate, so if you don't tell Zagtivities how much money you had at the beginning of the academic year, it's not going to know. Just select the Graduate Student Council account and move on. Categories. The categories is really important because on the other side, in accounts payable or the controller's office, they're going to want to know what area this event falls under or the supplies falls under that you're requiring. So in this case, I'm just going to call it supplies. And then payee information is who are you purchasing the items from. So a lot of times students will contact me and be like, wait a minute, my payee doesn't have the last name, or sometimes they will even put their name in there, and that's not it. So the first name in this case, let's say I'm purchasing these items from Hootlook or Macy's. Let's put Macy's, right? We're not trying to advertise for them here. So you'll just go ahead and put it in the first name. Don't worry about the last name. And if it doesn't have an address, don't worry about it. But sometimes they will have a street address, even if it's an online invoice. So you want to make sure you fill this out as much as you can. Then if you scroll down in additional information, it's going to ask for who is requesting this purchase request. So in this case, go ahead and put your name and then your email, providing your fingers work. And then your cell phone number. Ha, tricked you, you're not getting that information. And then what funds are you using? Club funds, GSBA funds, there's a process for that we'll talk about later. So, or both. So I'll just put club funds. And then is there sales tax? If there's no sales tax in this purchase, what will happen is on our side, we will go ahead and include sales tax. So you always want to make sure that you give us the best estimate possible, and the best estimate would be one that includes sales tax. All right. Now, if you don't have GSBA funding, move on. What is this purchase request for? Let's say you need that $1 to buy $1 worth of candy or gumballs or something along those lines. You're just going to give the best description possible. Might be one sentence, might be one word. But just remember, we have to be able to interpret what you wrote. So give us the best description possible. What vendor will you use? Now we have a list of vendors that we normally have students asking for. If you don't see the list here, then go ahead and let us know. It might take a little bit longer to process your order. For example, I put Macy's, but maybe I can go ahead and get this item from Joanne Fabrics instead, or I can go ahead and get these gumballs from Pizza Rita. In which case, I can scroll back to the top, nothing's made in stone, and put Pizza Rita. Now, we both know Pizza Rita nor Macy's sells gumballs, but that's besides the point of this tutorial. All right, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to contact Brother Steve Souza. He's the accountant for clubs and organizations, and his number is always listed here for you, as well as his email. All right, now, it'll ask you when you're purchasing these items. You can give a date, give a reasonable date. A lot of the time, students will go ahead and say immediately. And we don't respond to immediately. We're here to serve students, but not serve students. So we can't make miracles happen because a lot of people are giving us requests at the same time. Are you selling these items? Answer as appropriate. Are you buying these items online? Answer as appropriate. And then tips, needs. So for example, some people prefer a purchase request, some people prefer a check, they prefer payment with a credit card. You can find out from the vendor what is appropriate to them and just enter such. So, all right. Now, if you have an invoice, go ahead and upload it there. We kind of need one to go ahead and do anything. And then go ahead and submit request by clicking on the green word, submit request. All right, so there's a field I did not enter, and it says here the required field, which we overlooked. So it'll say, by checking this box, I understand the purchase request will not be processed until an invoice, quote, or other form of documentation has been provided. That's why it's important to have such form when you create the event to expedite the process. So I'm going to go ahead and say I acknowledge this information and submit request again. Great. So now it says the purchase request has been created and is awaiting approval. You'll also see it show up within your purchase request. It'll say here, Party 2015. It will not put how much has been approved because it hasn't been approved yet. And it'll tell you the status. So for example, it says status unapproved pending. When it has been approved, it will change from unapproved pending to completed pending, and it will show you how much you've been approved for based on how much money you have in your account. If you want to look at that form or print it out, the one you just completed, you can click on the little magnifying glass and see what you just requested. This is for a previous one. Go back. We can look at our 2015 party, $1, and you can go ahead and review the document. If anything happens, you can change the stage, meaning change what you need. Let's say you need $36 instead of $1. You can go ahead and do that. Or you can go ahead and print out what you completed. All right? Now that was your purchase request plea using Zagtivities. Thanks so much. Bye.